Mark out this all-time high too. Yeah, we are trading a little bit into a premium. We have some weird price action though. I will elaborate on that in a second. Weird price action in a sense that we have these pre-London lows, right? This happened at 1:40 a.m. It's not typical that you see the low of the day to be created before the London, right? It swept out that Asia low right there. However, I think this was some people positioning themselves before CPI. And then obviously you could see that huge run on price during CPI, and we take out this high here. There is a lot of room to the downside. Um, the all-time high, possible. It's definitely possible. I need to see how this opening bell reacts. We are trading above midnight open, but we did have a little bit of manipulation here, right? So if we consider this accumulation, right, we had that manipulation outside, and then obviously we've already seen that distribution. So the main concern is this distribution over right here? Was this the top after we swept this liquidity here? Or do we come back and we retrace, we trade back into a discount, right? And then we continue higher to all-time highs. I think that's something we need to see what's going to play out here in the open. But I don't know, we'll see. I don't like this price action. Like I said, I don't like this price action down here making the low of the day pre-London. So very interesting. Because this is very clearly manipulation here. Or not manipulation, accumulation. All of this right here. Right? So we're sitting in this range, and then we have this huge expansion higher with CPI release. Right? Typically in a normal situation, you would want to see a manipulation here and then price continue lower, right? If we're expecting accumulation, manipulation, distribution. But yeah, price is a little wonky right now. If this was a if this was a Judas swing to go lower, this was a really crazy manipulation, right? Swinging this high. So but you could see how accurate these standard deviations are. Like, look to the tick. To the tick, we're reaching up into this 4 standard deviation. It's so crazy sometimes how these levels line up. Now, obviously, it's very hard to like call that, right? Like, it's very hard for it to just instantly trade up into this 4 standard deviation and take a sell off that, right? But yeah, pretty crazy the accuracy on these standard deviations. Sometimes the reaction we get. But yeah, here's the market open. Just being patient, right? Don't wanna engage on anything yet. We have a lot of fair value gaps down here on the 5, 15, 30, even the hourly, right? You could see where that data released and it just instantly rocketed. So that's possible low hanging fruit, right? We did have SMT with ES right here. We have double SMT, right? We have SMT here and then SMT here as well. But I'm not really paying too much mind to that, as price was just accumulating to figure out what it wanted to do for CPI. Just keep an eye on ES here as well, making sure we're not creating any abnormal SMT. Make sure everything is set up properly. I can make a trade. Trade Evate's not messing with me. No technical errors today. Yeah, it's possible this wants to rip higher right off the open as well, towards these all-time highs. Now the true London low is right here, right? And we swept that in the pre-market with this move lower, right? And then we had this is what's throwing me off a little bit, is this pre-London low. Very, very rare that you see low of the day happen between 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. like this. So it's very interesting. But it is CPI, you know. So things are going to be a little out of ordinary. But do have a little bit of low resistance liquidity stacked up here for a target later on. I just don't see this. I just don't see this coming back down here as of now. So we're inverting this 5-minute fair value gap here. Could just see price run for all-time highs right here, right now. Got a wick formed on that hourly. Yeah, it looks like price wants to continue. Yeah, right away we had that manipulation below here, this accumulation. Had like a little reversal here, but this is not the best, right? It might be one of those days where, you know, where you see NQ run and it doesn't really give you much opportunity to get in on any PD arrays. It just runs straight to target. You got filled, Randy? Yeah, let's see. You got stops below the low here? It's not too bad of an entry right there. Got some fair value gaps stacked on top of each other on the 1 minute. Yep, looks about right. Yep. It was exactly the setup I was looking for as well. But I was curious as to what the next the next 5 minute candle would do. This one. Yeah, 848 looks good, man. All-time highs. The sentiment's there too. The sentiment's definitely there. I would have liked to see this opening candle retrace a little bit deeper, or possibly even take out this data low and form some type of maybe fair value gap. And then we could have got in on an inverse or something like that. But this might just be running, right? Had that inversion right here, but I wasn't really too concerned about what happened in the pre-market like this. I kind of pay attention to this 830 candle and 835, but not much after that, right? All this was just kind of a little bit of recovery. Randy, you're trying to go short and long? Long and short? Long and strong, and then short and flaccid? Wait, what? Jofer just got in here too. Oh, we're talking about trading, man. We're talking about trading. Of course. All right, so I like how we kind of formed that fair value gap there. I don't know if I like my stop that close though. This would be below the fair value gap here. Yeah, it is taking its time a little bit. This was a pretty good entry that you got here, so I wouldn't be too concerned. Price could come back and retest this fair value gap, but if we're just gonna spool towards the all-time highs, it might not do that, right? Got 3 minutes on this candle, expecting this 15-minute candle to maybe make a wick to the downside, and we can get in on some type of entry here, and then just ride it. Joe for always coming back at the wrong time, man. At the wrong time. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait 2 minutes here, see what this next 15-minute candle does. I don't think I want to enter with two contracts here. I mean, it's possible. Stops below the New York Open. Yeah, man, the CPI candle was kind of crazy today. These candles are really slowing down, though. Look at this. Definitely slowing down a bit. See what this next 15-minute candle does. We could have it retrace all the way back into this inverse fair value gap. Still got 30 seconds on this candle. This is giving us a pretty decent entry, possibly. I'm glad I didn't take that yet. Just waiting on that candle closure. Yeah, this is a little weird here. I'm not liking that long now. It's looking pretty short to me after that. Not gonna lie. It's looking pretty short, man.
Order. Order submitted.
I'm going to put my stop at this high here. Now, I didn't want to enter with two contracts because it is a possibility we trade back into this range here. Or to that high, excuse me. But, yeah, I think this might be the displacement down towards this data low here. We are kind of in accumulation though, so it is a little, that was a little spurt of the moment, right? Spur of the moment. Because we are still like in this accumulation phase. We just have these data lows down here that are really clean. That was the one thing I was worried about going long there. Is it is a possibility that we just completely reverse and start running for this data low. And there was no SMT here on ES. Yeah, price action isn't the best right now, right? But we did invert this fair value gap right off the bat, and this was like a little manipulation. Like, I think a lot of people wanted to see higher prices here. Even me, I did want to see higher prices. I was just waiting for that first 15-minute candle to close. I do think we continued to dump from here, though. Yeah, I didn't like where my stop loss would be as well with two contracts. I feel like my stop would have been in not a very safe place right there, so I just entered with one contract and then just mitigated my risk, right? Because I do want my stop loss at that high, but if I enter with two contracts, then I'm risking like 250 bucks. I'd rather risk less than more. So yeah, getting that inversion, when we sweep below this low here, we might be able to add another contract on. Yeah, trading back towards this midnight open now. Price is just kind of spooling. I'm not gonna lie, those longs look almost pretty damn good. They did. Something to be careful of here. We are trading back into a discount. This might run all the way for this data low before we even get a chance to scale in this trade. All right, so we got like 26 seconds here. I just want to see a little pullback up into this region and maybe add another contract. And then that's going to tighten my stop to about above this high, probably. Yeah. Yeah, let's see if we can get this candle to go green a little bit. Maybe fill this gap. Yeah, we might just start running right away. There it is. Yeah, not getting that second entry. Kind of sucks, but yeah, price is just spooling down now. Yeah, and honestly, if I was to place bets when the market opened, I would have placed a bet that all-time highs would have been ran over this data low. But I'm just reacting to what price gave me, right? And sometimes you can't really trust what happens in the first 10 minutes of the market open. Sometimes it's manipulation. Obviously, these two first candles that popped up right here. Definitely manipulation, and it suckered a lot of people in. So yeah, break even at this point. Um, just want to see this low get ran, trade through it. Data low looks pretty juicy still. That last minute of that 5 minute candle, or this candle right here, pretty crazy. Got stopped out, Frank. Yeah, man, it did look promising. I'm not gonna lie. We saw that fair value gap right off the bat, and we had this hammer candle, and I was very, very close to taking that, but I really wanted to see what that 940 candle was gonna do and how that 15-minute candle was gonna close. And sure enough, we inverted that fair value gap, instantly ran for these lows. Yeah, I think we could come up and tap into this region here. Maybe even fill this range on the 5 minute. I feel like break even's a pretty safe spot here. ES still hasn't taken those data lows either. I meant to keep an eye on that, but yeah, we could. Mm, yeah, like I said, I don't see it come back and take this break even before it takes this data low. Yeah, we're kind of filling this fair value gap, but there's a couple fair value gaps here, right? On the 15 minute. It's kind of hard to read that. This hourly was closing, coming back into some of these bearish candles. Very interesting here. It's like support and resistance type deal. Yeah, now this 15 minutes coming back in the range. I don't like that. Last 5 minutes of this 9 a.m. candle. Your DC Discord. Yeah, man. Discord's always having connection issues, I feel like. It's very annoying. All right, let's see if we could get that drive higher or drive lower to that data low right now, because if we start trading above this high again, we'll just obviously hit break even. This 1 minute coming in clutch, man. 956 candle. Coming in pretty clutch. If I didn't go break even there, I think, my original idea of adding another contract here would have been good. I just didn't like how this 950 candle here immediately swept the previous low. I would have rather seen this candle trade up into this range and fill it and then continue lower. But the fact that it swept the low first, I didn't like that for another entry. I would rather just go break even. So that was kind of my thought process as to why I didn't add another contract right here, is because we already swept that low of the previous candle. And if this was going to reverse on me, I would rather just be break even and not be holding two contracts with a full risk on the table, right? So this data low is about to get taken, possibly. There's the data low. Let's see if we trade through it. Might not trade through it like I'm looking for. One more drive in price, possibly. And we'll go ahead and just go ahead and close this trade right here at the
Order
data low.
canceled. Order filled.
All right. So nice little trade there. You know, honestly, I would say if you guys took this long, like don't beat yourself over that. Don't beat yourself up over that long for sure. Because that was something I was looking to take as well. But it just kind of is what it is, right? You can take that loss on the chin and not be upset over that. Just make sure it doesn't like spiral you.